Okay. At this point in time, you should have done the sandwich demo. I'll show you what that looks like really quick. It's the very beginning first demo of working with Photoshop, and I ask you to make a sandwich with a couple different layers. Top piece of bread, bottom piece of bread, and then 5 ingredients, and add a name to it. And then you need to save that and then export it as a JPEG and submit it right here for me. We practice downloading a font, using the magic eraser tool, type tool, and then the move tool. Okay. Now we are moving on to making our name tag. And we are going to open up Photoshop and give it a second to load here. We're going to set up an artboard together, and then we're going to download another font. So you should be becoming a little bit familiar with that. Um, Hopefully it's feeling more and more comfortable. And as we keep setting up artboards, hopefully that begins to feel more and more comfortable. If you have not heard me yap about anything on the PowerPoint vocab wise, you're gonna want to look at texture. Okay. What we're gonna do is we are going to make a new artboard. So you're gonna click New File. We're always making a print because we're printing in here. And then you're gonna want to use your initials, and then I'm gonna title it Name Tag because that is what we are making. Width change to 4.25. Always in inches. 11, orientation, you want it to be landscape. Resolution at 300 is good. We want RGB color because we are working on the screen. Background, we're going to have it be transparent instead of white. And then we're good here. So name it. It's going to be 4.25 by 11 inches, landscape, 300 for resolution, RGB, transparent. Okay. If you have not done the sandwich demo, make sure you do that because we talk about a couple different tools in there, starting to feel comfortable working with your layers, naming layers, moving them around, the importance of the move tool, and then a couple other tools over here. So make sure you watch that first. Okay. We are going to open up a tab in the Googles here, and we want a font for a name tag with texture. Again, in that PowerPoint, texture is just what something feels like. So if you go to the beach, the sand feels grainy, it has a grainy texture. Or in this case, whenever we're making artwork on the screen, there is no true texture, but you can see what it would feel like. Okay, so we're looking at this piece of bread here, and it looks like it kind of has a soft, maybe crunchy edge to it. Okay, so that is what I mean when I say texture. Free fonts with texture. You could look up free fonts, free textured fonts, whatever you want. This is the one that most often we go to, but feel free to kind of look around at other free sites. Some of them will be blocked by Avon. Let's go into here. So we have a couple good options. This is good, good. This looks like it has kind of a wood texture. This one's really crazy, given that pie texture. Let me see if I can look up color texture fonts. Now let's go back out to Google. Color texture. Got in here. Anything? Nah. Kind of want some crazy look up colored fonts. Here we go. Okay. Um, these are good. This one is supposed to look kind of like it's jelly or jam. It kind of gives that slimy quality if I were gonna touch it. Okay. Um, this one kind of looks, says cake. Does look kind of cakey. Kind of looks like maybe it's got a rough texture to it. But anything, ooh, this looks like brains, maybe squishy, slimy. Anything where you feel like you could touch it and know kind of what it feels like is fair game. So I'm just gonna download, let's do the jelly one. Download over here, you open up that zip file. The one with the little tiny A on it is what you want to open up, and then you click install. And then it's gonna install, and we'll go back to Photoshop here, and we're gonna use that type tool, and we're gonna lay a box here for text. Immediately hit backspace to delete that out, and you're gonna type in your name. This is pretty small. You can see I've already used textured font here. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make this box of text around it smaller. I'm going to highlight it. Let me look at what the name of my font was. Jelly Jam. And I'm going to add in my font. And then I'm going to go back to my move tool. And then again, if you haven't heard me yap about the PowerPoint, we talk about scale. And I really want you to scale your name up here. Okay. Make it big. This is a good size too. I wouldn't go too much smaller than this, okay? It helps me identify your desk and get used to your name a little bit faster. And I'm also kind of blind, so the bigger, the better. Kind of center it here. Voila. And there is my name with texture on it. From here, you're gonna go to File, Save As. Make sure you're saving it to your OneDrive, into your digital design folder. You want to leave it as a Photoshop file, and then make sure it should be named because we set up the artboard. Save it here. If you want to, I think it's not a bad idea to save it here. Where I would rather you save it is to your cloud documents. Okay, you can see I've saved that first one here. So hit save. I'm not going to do that because I don't need this. And then I want you to practice exporting. So you're going to go to File, Export, Export As. This is when we are changing the file type over from being the Photoshop file, that PSD, to a JPEG. So make sure you change this guy to JPEG. Slide that quality bar up. Click on Export. And then you'll go back to Schoology. And you are going to submit this guy. There we go. Underneath name tag project. Downloaded in a font with texture right here. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.